The COP30 Leaders Summit begins today in Belem, Brazil, featuring panels on climate change and efforts to strengthen the Paris Agreement. The two-week summit, running from November 6th to the 21st, brings together world leaders, scientists and civil society to accelerate global climate action. Well, COP30 marks 10 years since the landmark Paris Agreement. Over 140 delegations will be attending the summit, including 57 heads of state and 39 ministers. The conference is hosted by Brazilian President Lula da Silva and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Well, the Leaders Summit taking place over the next 2 days will set the political direction for the talks with the goal of keeping global warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius. Discussions will focus on forests, renewable energy, adaptation, food security and climate finance. A Greenpeace boat carrying indigenous leaders arrived in Belem in the wee hours ahead of COP30. It carried on the message, Action, Justice, Hope. The action aimed to convey that climate action must put indigenous people at the center of the decision-making processes, as they are the guardians of the Amazon.
Here in the Amazon, where COP30 is taking place at a historic moment, it's an opportune time when we are on the verge of the Amazon's collapse, close to the point of no return. So there couldn't be a more strategic, more important moment for a COP to happen than in indigenous territory, because Para is indigenous territory, the Amazon is indigenous territory.
Activists from several organizations held protests on Wednesday in Belém city, calling for greater action to combat climate change. The activists donned masks representing US President Donald Trump, Argentine President Javier Milei and Brazilian President Lula da Silva, criticizing the political inaction ahead of the COP30 climate summit.
What is happening in the world when we think of climate change? It seems that people are not realizing the urgency. Global leaders are taking so small steps, like they're sleeping and not seeing what's happening. So we thought, that's it. They're sleeping, taking a nap, slowly awaking, and we need to rush, wake up. We need these people to wake up to the urgency of the climate crisis.
In Rio de Janeiro, environmental activists projected climate messages on iconic buildings on Wednesday night. The projections displayed slogans such as Make Polluters Pay, Protect Forests and People and COP30 Brazil Amazon. Portraits of UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Brazilian President Lula da Silva and US President Donald Trump were also shown, with calls for stronger climate action.
I like it because it's dynamic. It has a lot of color. It makes you want to watch it, right? It's very important for everyone to be informed because there is misinformation due to the economic system we are living in. So having information accessible to everyone is very important, very much so.
The European Union said it would slash carbon emissions by 90% by 2040. An agreement which is widely seen as a weakening of the 27-nation bloc's previous climate plan. The agreement also allows for postponing a new carbon trading plan covering transport and heating, a central demand of Poland.
Once again, the target is 90%. So it's what we ask for. This is the target. Legally binding target. So I think it's a very positive result. And now we have the possibility to go to Belém with leadership and showing that European Union can go together in a complex world. Well, we need to support United Nations, and we have NDC and we have the law.
This year's conference comes amid a complex geopolitical backdrop. The United States has withdrawn from the Paris Agreement and several developed countries are rethinking their climate commitments due to economic and energy security pressures. Now, by hosting the climate negotiations in Belem, which is a relatively poor city at the edge of the Brazilian Amazon, Brazil hopes to highlight the importance of protecting this key ecosystem. The Amazon rainforest is a crucial carbon sink. It has about 20% of the world's freshwater reserves and boasts incredible biodiversity, including 16,000 known tree species.